yourself. Go kart. Do it yourself. Go kart. Do it yourself. Go kart. It's the one-stop shop for installing kart parts.
7/16 wrench, 3/8 wrench, 7/16 socket, 3/8 socket, socket wrench, and a Phillips screwdriver. Welcome to DIY Golf Carts installation videos. In today's video we'll be installing a front shock shield on a 95 and up EZGO TXT. Now let's begin. Our first step on the installation of this shock cover will be to remove the factory one. Now the cart we're working on here already has the light installed, but as you can see there's these brackets up here that hold the shock cover and the light bracket to the frame of the golf cart. So we'll take a 3/8 wrench and remove these bolts. Once that bolt's removed, we'll do the same on the other side and then move right back here to the bolts that are supporting the front shock shield. Once we've got the two bolts removed at the top of the shock shield, our next step will be to remove the two bracket bolts that are holding the shock shield off of the cart. Now we can't use a wrench for this, we're going to need to use a socket. So this is a 3/8 socket. Once we've got the four bolts removed holding the shock shield in place, we're going to drop it down and disconnect the wiring harness from the light bar. Now that we've got the wiring harness removed, we can set the shock shield to the side, then grab some zip ties which aren't provided in the kit, and find a place up underneath the front cowling here to zip tie the factory wiring harness to. So we just found a place right up here, throw a zip tie on. Our next step will require us to install the shock shield. Alright, once we've got the wiring harness removed from the factory light bar, we need to take a 7/16 wrench and 7/16 socket. We're going to have to remove these brackets and the brackets holding the light bar on, as these will be reused to install the diamond plate shock shield. Alright, do this to both sides. We'll move on to the next step. Alright, in order to give this diamond plate kit the look that we're looking for, we're not going to install the factory light bar. We're actually going to do some cut-in lights here in the front cowl. But if you are wanting to reinstall the factory light bar to your front shock shield, you'll just use the same holes where you removed it and the same brackets, and they'll line up perfect. Every one of our diamond plate accessories comes with the bolt pack distinguishing which accessory the bolts fit. So right here, we're going to take these nuts and the lock nuts and the bolts. We're going to run it through, put the factory brackets on, and loosely tighten the lock nut. Do the same for the other side. Once we've got our support brackets on our shock shield, for this cart we're going to use the pre-drilled holes on the inside and match them up with the frame. You'll want to reuse your existing hardware, so you put that up in there like so. Grab your bolt. Put it in there, and do the same for the other side. Once we've installed the two bolts holding the front shock shield at the top, our next step will be to mount the brackets back to the frame of the golf cart. So I've rolled up underneath the cart, but you can obviously do this task to the side of the cart. So you just want to put it in the hole, like so. Grab your wrench, tighten it down. I just do it kind of tight for now, then move on to your other bracket. Now with a Phillips screwdriver and a 7/16 wrench, we're going to tighten up the front. Front shock shield installation complete.